Are you ready?
Irashaimase, everybody. This is your host, Andre Salazar. We're going to talk some comics. We're going to do a double feature today. We're going to do Akira. I'm going to edit that, and then I'll do Sin City. So I'll release these like one after the other. Kind of excited to talk about both of these books. We'll start with Akira, but before we do that, let me tell you a little bit about myself quickly. My name is Andre Salazar. I am a comic book enthusiast, aficionado, and I create them. What, you say? What do you mean? You make comic books? Yes, I have made graphic novels, comics, web comics, all that kind of stuff. Check them out over on my website, andressalazarart.com. Or you can go to my Patreon. Patreon actually has all the comic books there as well. You can purchase them, you can take a look at them, and see what I'm up to, creatively speaking. If you're into fine art, I've also been doing a lot of painting. And I have a solo exhibition in Ventura, California. Opening reception May 3rd, all through the month of May. So if you want to see some of my latest stuff, go check that out there. I think it's cool. On with the show. I bought this at a swap meet down the street for like $1. And I have other copies of these. I actually have the full set of these colored versions from Epic. I think these are actually the best versions. I would have loved for them to collect these in like big tomes. But Dark Horse just did the black and white ones, which is a shame. I don't think they had rights. They might not have rights to the Epic ones. The colors are really rad. They use some new technology. There's a guy from, I want to say like Sweden or Norway, who helped and like traveled to Japan and worked with Otomo to do these things. The color, they're amazing. I've actually seen some of the original colors. They were selling them at Comic-Con years ago, and I did not buy them, and I should have, because they were cheap. So that was dumb on my part. So yeah, I love these. I don't know if these are expensive nowadays or not. They were. They used to be pretty pricey, especially these last couple. I feel like the last few, like in the 30s, were pretty pricey, like $18-20, and that was like 20 years ago. I don't know how they've stabilized, so someone can double check on that. But let's talk about the story. If you know, the graphic novel is very different than the anime. It was actually done after the anime, so it was like they were making the anime and the comic at the same time. This manga had not finished when they started the animation process, so there was actually a little bit of overlay as far as workload, and it's more an abbreviated, as you could imagine, version of what goes on here. This is a lot more twists and turns, more characters, things like that. But we're going to jump right in. We're towards the end. Kori, who's been faithful to Tetsuo, is shot in the back by Tetsuo's aide. Shoots her. Tetsuo, who's been really he's like kind of lost his control, I think, in a lot of ways. He's been overpowered by the power, and so we can't control him. And then of course we've got Kanata and Kai and all of them trying to get rid of him. So let's just get in with it. One of the great things about manga, I talk about this a lot as far as manga goes, is there's this, it's not compressed, it's decompressed in a very expansive way. I mean, back in the 90s, I remember people were talking about, oh man, Marvel Comics is like, you know, mainstream comic books are decompressing comics. And I think it was Bendis who was the big, like, people were talking about, oh, he's making things, it takes 6 issues to do something that's like 1 issue, or, you know, everything's being made for the trade. And so they're going to pull out a story that could have been done in maybe 2 or 3 issues. They're going to pull it out into 6 so they can collect it. And while that might be true, you know, there's some books that maybe were kind of like more, we'll say cinematic, although that's kind of a total misnomer. But there's things, really what they're doing is taking a page from manga. And if they're taking a page, they're taking a tiny piece of the page. Because a manga, you'll have a whole freaking 200 pages that can be done in a 24-hour page comic book, a 24 page comic in the West. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, if you want to talk about decompression, manga has tomes and tomes and tomes of story. You're spending hundreds of dollars for a story that really you could tell in probably 12 to 24 issues in a Western comic. And it's like, it's just different as far as like what they look for storytelling and how they linger on things. And it's also, I think, more visual in that way because you're looking more at the drawings, you're looking more at these characters and things like that. That's all I'd preface to say that Otomo is one of the best, one of the masters, both of techno kind of drawing and faces and expression. And here we have Tetsuo next to his dead girlfriend, and he is not happy. I mean, what a great simple lines, 8 to 10 lines right there, but they're like exactly what you need. They're shocked. I love it colored too. I think the coloring is so good. And then, we need your power. Yeah. And he's like, something's gonna happen. Love these little things. Love the action lines, speed lines. These speed lines, this is not digital. So nowadays you can use some digital tools and kind of do it. Back in my day, you had to freaking draw that with a ruler. And so that's what was up. Whoa, is that too bright? Might be too bright. I'm just trying to see if I think that's fine. Okay, we'll just brighten it up a tiny bit. I love this stuff. It's so freaking cool. Just this. And now he's like totally morphing. He is not freaking fooling around. And he's just like the Akira Power, which is the psychic power that has been unleashed, is kind of like amoebic in a way, right? Just goes back to this super primal thing. This is really cool. Just like you see the wall or ceiling crack. He looks down upon it. Goes down back to him. Dead body. It's great, cool movement. Stuff. All the line work is really cool. You can, there is some brush work, but there's a lot of pen, right? This is a lot of like Rapidograph. Now they would use a micron pen, they're called, but these tech pens that have a very, we call it a dead line, but a line that has no variation. So it's just like a single width. It's not, inked by, Sal Buscema or something. Buscema. Gasping for air. And there's Akira. Boom. Boom. He's been awakened. And he's not screwing around. This is cool. This is nice little like, and then just like zoomed in a bit just for effect, Maybe in a Western comic we wouldn't even have that. We just go boom, or we go boom, and then we'd like keep going. This could be done half the page, and you would keep going, but we're lingering. Manga's about lingering. Visuals. It's a cool, frightened face. The colors work. I mean, this green is so good. If this was black and white, I don't know. I mean, it's cool, but the green just, to me, it adds. It's just another dimension. This is a beautiful face. This look here, this look of freaking. It's not super exaggerated too. It's just subtle enough. You get it. There's a tiny smile. There's the eyes, but it's not like, Dragon Ball Z. And he's naked. So good. He's like, crunch. Just smash, dude. He's now at the power where he could just basically explode you with thought, with psychic energy and stuff. Now, these, of course, are the other kids who also are psychics from that, like, that government project, who are trying to battle him, of course, if you know the story. They're trying to fight Tetsuo. But, you know, you notice in the comic, we never get to this stage where he's, like, all white. We never get to that kind of, like, thing in the anime. I like these little vehicles, these strange, like, spider-like things. It reminds me a little bit of the one in Ghost in the Shell. Those little robot dudes. That's Kaneda. Kaneda! Tetsuo! And he's got the laser rifle. So this is part of the anime too, where he's got the little laser rifle, which is pretty cool. Haven't heard that arrogant mouth in years, in a long time. And you're never gonna hear it again. You, my God, and the others are lined up at the gates of hell waiting for you. When he stops the laser and freaking scream. Effective. It's like old times, huh? When we used to ride motorcycles with the rest of the gang. Widescreen. Oh, he's doing like freaking wide mode. Freaking cool, dude. Look at that. I love the like smoke, the rubble. It's freaking exciting. It's a great damn comic book. I can only imagine what it was like when these were all coming out monthly for what, $3.95 or something like that? $3.95. This would have been so freaking cool just to be like, oh, when's the next Akira come out? And Akira, looks, we gotta see that. These are some of these shots from the movie, or yeah, I'll just. And they're just kind of fighting it out. Here's one of the clowns. These guys who I think are at this point are like working with Kaneda. It's basically like humanity versus Tetsuo. So good. Oh. Kori. Or Kai, I mean. Snap. And Kai has now powers too. She's gotten her. I like these little like negative effects. Look at this. Isn't this cool? It's just, this is the kind of stuff that was just so exciting. And he just had a, I guess what it is it's an amount of realism, right? It's a realism that is so fun because everything looks, you know, in the physical world. Nothing is, it's not expressive. It's not, we're not doing, there's no abstract, there's no expressiveness. It's all very grounded. And because of that, it feels, you know, it has a certain feel to it. Akira. I think that's like one of the only words he ever says. Oh, they're gonna shoot that. They're gonna freaking bomb him. No. Look at these buildings. Now, he would have assistants, of course, as a mangaka would. And so he probably did enjoy, he might not even done the jets. He might just let somebody, just like, okay, a couple people do that part. Usually the mangakas focus on the characters and that kind of stuff. They'll get some guys to do the background. Okay, that's it. I like that was fun, dude. This is such a good freaking comic. I highly, highly recommend. If you're gonna read manga, there's 3 I recommend. Akira, Lone Wolf and Cub, and oh shit. Oh, so many. Just Akira and Lone Wolf and Cub. Those are the classics. Maybe Crying Freeman. Maybe even Vinland Saga is so good, or Monster, Planetes. Yeah, there's other ones, or Junji Ito. But yeah, those 2. I can't nail it down. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye. Next up. This one, this bad boy.